Hello and welcome. This is my Hyper Spinfit 700c. I bought it last January at Walmart for $148 for the express purpose of turning it into a commuter bike. I began with a set of Mavic vintage wheels. They're 84, 85 or so, but man, these things are as smooth as silk. And I put a set of Continental Ultra Sport tires on it, and then the pandemic hit. I was working from home until July when I retired, so strictly speaking, I no longer need a commuter bike. So what I'm going to do instead is put a set of Kenda Quests that I have left over from another bike. They still got some mileage left in them. They do have a tread, so that's going to be helpful. This is where the rubber hits the road. Well, the dirt road. I kind of smile and chuckle a little bit when I think about how popular gravel cycling has become these last few years. Only because that's not new to me. When I was a kid, we lived just about halfway from either end of a dirt road. And we also lived at the very top of a hill. So basically, any bike I rode back then was a gravel bike. That said, I do laugh a little bit, but not a lot, because honestly, anything that gets somebody out on a bike is a good thing. I think it was just about at this point last summer that I wiped out on one of my road bikes. That bike is running a set of Continental Ultra Sports. And the thing about that is they have no tread and on conditions like this, no traction. So what happened was my rear wheel went out from under me and I went down really hard on my right let us politely say hip. Got a spectacular bruise and laceration out of it and ruined a pretty good set of cycling shorts. But it could have been worse. The bike was not harmed at all. I am pleasantly surprised at how well these Kenda Quests are holding up. They do have a few years on them, but as I said earlier, I think I can get the rest of the season out of them. The chief advantage in this instance is they actually have a tread, even though it's not a particularly aggressive tread. But it's working, and that's what counts.
Well, that was a hell of a climb. I'm definitely going to need a lower gear than a 34. I'm going to do this a lot. Whew. Can't even can't even coast in this. Luckily, pavement resumes up there by the speed limit sign. Ooh.
Well, alrighty then. The Hyper Spinfit does seem to have some potential as a gravel bike. I mean, that was a fun ride. The surface was a little bit loose, but that's because we have had some awfully dry weather up here. We went probably a month without rain, which is unusual in Maine. That aside, these Kenda Kwest tires provided a lot more traction than the Continental tires did because they actually have a tread. These also have quite a few miles on them, but I think they'll be good through the end of the season. And I will probably upgrade to something with a little more of an aggressive gravel tread. Things I would change. Flat handlebars. They're fine for mountain biking and for tooling around the neighborhood and for a short commute, but on a 12-mile ride, hands get a little tired. There's not many positions that you can use like you can on drop bars, but it still worked out fairly well. I will probably be upgrading the saddle. This is an old WTB that came off my Diamondback Response when I upgraded that, and the seat is comfortable, but visually it has had better days. All in all, this was a really easy, fun project. Didn't take hardly any time at all. I mean, I put on a saddle and a pair of tires. It doesn't get much easier. But I do have another phase in mind for this gravel conversion. I think that you can see where I'm heading with this. The one thing I need to investigate is how well drop bar brake levers work with linear pole brakes. At any rate, this project is not done yet. Stay tuned. If you enjoyed this video, I think you will enjoy the video that I've linked below to the initial modifications I made on this bike. Additionally, I've also linked to a video for my Diamondback Response, which I heavily modified, took it right down to the bare frame and built it back up, and that was lots of fun. And if you like this, please give me a thumbs up, and if you have not subscribed, please consider doing so. Until next time, I wish you health and happiness, and as always, thanks for watching. I really do appreciate that when you do. Goodbye.